Hello everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everybody, Cantonese Cat here. I want to talk about Coinbase and Robinhood. I've been very bullish on Coinbase and Robinhood for a very long time. I think I talked about it a couple months ago, or a few months ago. I talked about how very, very bullish I was on Coinbase. And it has worked out very well. This is a monthly chart for Coinbase. If you just look at overall formation, this is a big giant cup and this is a big giant handle. A little bit of a complex handle, but it's working out. Right now is kind of breaking above. We closed last month, the highest monthly close ever for Coinbase. And because of that, we ended up having some further continuation. We also talked last time about how important it was when it breaks above and close above the 0.886 log fib. How whenever that happens, generally these things lead to all-time highs. So I think Coinbase is going to end up continue to break above and end up going up a lot higher over time. Now, if you're asking for certain targets, I do have some of the fib levels up here above. These are logarithmic Fibonacci levels. These are extension levels. I think it's possible to hit some of these targets up here above. You know, it depends on how impulsive, it depends on how much liquidity this cycle ends up having. But I do think currently it does have enough impulse probably to get up to some of these higher levels up here above this cycle. I think it's entirely possible for Coinbase to double or maybe even triple or even go higher after that. Because it's a very, very volatile asset. A lot of people forget that it came all the way from like $31, went all the way up here to like $300, $350, went more than a 10x within a period of just, a year and a half, 2 years. And it's been consolidating sideways over here for more than a year. It's been forming a very big base over here. This looks like accumulation to me. It looked like accumulation here for a very long time, and certainly seems like it is accumulation because we're breaking out right here. Whenever things break above the 0.86, usually it tends to go a lot higher and makes all-time highs, and this is kind of where we're seeing right now. Another supportive evidence, we talk about how the monthly Tenkan, the blue line over here, is serving as a launching pad. It is doing that right now, and the other thing that I'm also witnessing that is also very, very bullish is the monthly Bollinger Band expansion. You can see how the monthly Bollinger Band is now expanding to the upside and to the downside. Whenever you see Bollinger Band expansion like that, that tells you there's a very, very impulsive move that's happening, and that is probably going to keep going on for quite some time. Bollinger Band expansion generally happens with huge volatility, and in general, with huge volatility, it allows price to keep on going the direction where it's going. And if it's riding on a lower Bollinger Band, it can continue to go on to the downside here, extremely, extremely brutal. But if it's riding up a Bollinger Band and if it continues to expand here, it can keep riding up a Bollinger Band here over time, and over the next few months or over the next year or maybe a little bit longer, it can reach some of the targets I was showing you earlier on the Fibonacci levels. It's looking good. I don't have anything else bad to say about Coinbase. The other stock also thing is looking extremely well is Robinhood. Now, going back to Coinbase here, I do want to show you guys some things here. I'm going to pause here and get a Gann square here to kind of show you what I'm seeing. In general, when I draw these kinds of Gann square on log scale, I like to use 360 is usually a good number for like a weekly chart. And once you get to 360, you can enter in a whole set of different numbers. Now, one, you already have broken above the square here, so that's not really any particularly helpful here. Two, gives you some pretty decent market symmetry, and you can see that it's really having a breakout above this horizontal line over here, potentially, right, depending on how the week closes. So that's a breakout. If you do 5, you can also see that 5 is also showing a breakout above this level, and you also saw some pretty remarkable market symmetry here as well. You look at 10, you've also got some really decent market symmetry here, where it's touching 45-degree angle over here, and you have broken about this arc over here. So whatever number I put in, there seems to be a little bit of a breakout here. 20, you're hitting a resistance zone over here, but generally I don't use 20 that often. It looks like we're breaking out if you use 1, 2, 5, or 10. Overall, it seems like it wants to break above and go up to the next levels here. I am pretty bullish in terms of where Coinbase is going to go moving forward. Now, Robinhood, it was hitting a resistance zone up here above. I thought that $100 psychological level in this arc over here is going to be resistance. It could still be resistance. It's just been going in a straight line here. How many weeks has it been green? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks have been green, and we haven't really had that higher low quite just yet. But this is a very, very impulsive bull phase of the whole bull cycle here. So it could push through the arc, maybe backtest it and keep going to the next level. Who knows? It is extremely impulsive. I don't want to bet against this. It's not healthy at all. But I cannot bet against a weekly bullish trend that looks like this. I don't care if it's hitting some strong resistance level. I don't care if it hasn't really formed a higher low. I just can't justify trying to sell here and try to buy back lower. I think it does want to hit some of the higher targets up here above around 168, 240. It's possible to hit 400 up here too. I just cannot be that bearish when it comes to Robinhood. Because if you also look at the monthly, it already has a very bullish Ichimoku breakout. It already has a very bullish Bollinger Band expansion here on the monthly for a very long time. The low Bollinger Band is all the way down to the ground to the negatives. This is a very impulsive bull trend, and I don't want to get in the way of it. It looks like it wants to continue to just keep on expanding. It looks like it wants to keep going up. Now, do I want to buy something like Robinhood? Probably not. I don't like to buy things whenever they're just not even touching up a Bollinger Band. This is how overextended it is. It's not even touching up a Bollinger Band. On the other hand, if it keeps on pushing up like that for the rest of the month, the upper Bollinger Band can end up getting dragged up and actually touch the bottom right there at the wick, because the Bollinger Band takes into account the prices, right? And if the higher prices keep going up, sometimes you can drag the upper Bollinger Band up along with it, and it might not be that overextended because of that. I don't want to bet against the trend. I'm just going to keep riding the trend and see where it takes me when it comes to Coinbase and when it comes to Robinhood. The reason why is because both of these are very highly tied with the cryptocurrency market. And the cryptocurrency market looks like it wants to break out. It looks like it wants to keep on going much, much higher. These two stocks are going to be big beneficiary if we end up having an altcoin season. There are a lot of stocks I'm starting to talk about too. And if you guys are ever interested in watching more of these videos, I usually do like anywhere from 6 to 9 of them on the weekends. And I release them on Danny's Patreon. So this guy named Danny Chang, who has a Patreon here, he is looking for more additional content, provide value to his members. So what I am doing, I usually just make videos for him on the weekends. I talk about stocks like Palantir, Tesla, MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Robinhood. Start talking about the miners here. Talk about HIMS, talk about Oscar, talking about some stocks that a lot of retail investors are very interested in. If you are interested in these videos, I generally try to do a pretty good job as much as I can. And also incorporate this very, very interesting charts that Danny has as well on his available on his Patreon. So if you're interested in more videos, please feel free to reach out to Danny or to consider his Patreon if you want to. Completely optional, obviously. I'll put the link down here below for the YouTube video. And if you're on X, you know who Danny is. Anyway, guys, take care. Have a good one. Bye.